Guys, I don't know whether this has been happening with you lately, but I find myself and a few friends that I've spoken to tell me that they find themselves in this space where they have been asking themselves very existential questions in this period of time when they have been at home, quarantined and, locked out, curfews and things like that. And people are, the whole question of, is God angry with us? Is he doing this because, of his wrath? Is it that God has decided that the world needs to rest from our influence? Is there something I have done? Am I going to die if COVID gets to me? Are my parents going to die? My parents are losing their jobs. Maybe I am going through a difficult time. Am I going to go back to school? Will they still have their jobs after this? What will happen to me? I mean, heavy questions going on in people's minds. And I know that that has happened with me as well. And I thought to myself, maybe this is something we need to address because the enemy can take advantage of our fear. When you're in a space when you're unsure what to think, how to interpret a certain situation, you're likely as a human being to be irrational about it and start thinking crazy random things. Some people get out of it quickly, some people take a little bit more time. And I thought, maybe we can think through the scriptures and consider what God is saying about these things. In Psalm chapter 11, verse 3, the psalmist asks, when the foundations are being destroyed, what can the righteous do? And I think that feels like the question in our minds, when our foundations are being shaken, what can we do? How are we supposed to think? Where are we supposed to go? And this is what he says in verse 4. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth. His eyes examine them. And I thought to myself, that's an interesting answer, right? Foundations are being shaken and you're being told the Lord is on the throne. As though to tell you, you might be feeling shaken, but God is still God. God is still being sovereign. God is still being in charge. The question is, what does that mean? So now, okay, so he's in charge. So what am I supposed to do with that information? And I thought, Psalm chapter 46, a very interesting psalm. He says, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations and I will be exalted in the earth. The whole idea of being still is a difficult one when you have, in a manner of speaking, lost control. You don't know what tomorrow holds. You don't know whether, I've seen people joking about, I don't know whether today is when I will step out of the house and get COVID. Who knows whether it's today or tomorrow or 6 months from now. And God says, be still and know that I am God. And the question is, who are you, God? If I'm to be still, what am I to think of you? And these are some of the things you should think about God. That God is kind. That God is in charge, that God is wise, that God is aware. He is all-knowing, he is all-powerful, he is, we keep saying these things of God is omniscient, God is omnipotent. He is all those things. And he says, you be still. You cannot know what is happening in a hospital somewhere. You do not know what is happening in China. You do not know what is happening in Sweden. You do not know. Be still and know that I am God. And here's the thing. Take your time to think through the character traits of God in this time. Ask yourself, if I know what kindness means, and I know what mercy means, and I know what wisdom means, and I know what faithfulness means, I know what it means for someone to be true, do I relate that to God? If this is what kindness is, that what God is saying that he is? I know that God says God is love. And I know love to be 1, 2, 3 things. Is that what God is saying about me? Think about the character traits of God. Be still and know that he is God. Don't fret. Don't allow your fear to lead you into thinking irrational things. And here's the thing. If you're a Christian, if you die, are you not going home ultimately to the arms of your Father? So even that shouldn't be a thing that makes you fret to the moon and back. And if you're an unbeliever, then you need to reconsider and ask yourself, should COVID get to me and I die? Where am I headed? What does it mean for when God says, I am God, i.e. I'll make a judgment over the people who have accepted Christ as their savior and the people who have defied him and said, you know what, Miss Katai weni God, but where ishi life yako huko na mimi naishi life yangu huko. So what does that mean? Be still and know that if he is true, if his nature is that he is true, it means what he says therefore is true. ask yourself, what does that mean? So don't be irrational. Make very rational judgments about the things that you're thinking about right now, the things that you are going through right now, and trust in God. Allow your heart to settle in the fact that we have a God who cares for us, a Father who loves us enough to send his Son to die on the cross for us. And we were just from Easter. God gave his Son up for us. How much more then will he not do all these other things for us? And like I said, should he choose that we go home to him, this is our joy. This is our ultimate goal, to be with God. So don't be afraid. Don't fret. Be still and know that he is God.